Hey, welcome back to my channel Endless Pages. I'm Liv and welcome to today's video, the All About the Titles book tag. Hey, long time no see. It's probably been so long since I've seen you guys. I've been in a weird filming slump, so I apologize. So the sun just went behind a cloud, so the lighting is probably going to continuously change in this video, and it's changing as I speak. I'm so sorry. Anyway, yeah, welcome to the All About the Titles book tag. Can you tell I'm a little rusty at filming? I was tagged in this tag by Paige from Pages with Paige, the lovely Paige. So thank you for unintentionally tagging me in just the right video I needed, a quick and easy fun video to get me back into my filming mojo. So thank you, Paige. Yes, but the original tag is created by only if for a page. I will tag her channel in the description below so you can go see her channel and the original video. The first prompt is a book with a one-word title. For that, I'm going with Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Oh my god, I don't say this often, but this is a classic that I absolutely freaking adore. I love this book. I cannot believe that I love this book so much, but I do. I love a classic shock horror. This book is about our main character who is on a trip in the south of France, and she meets this guy called Maxim de Winter, and they kind of get to know each other a bit, and then he proposes to her and asks her to move back to his like big fancy massive rich people estate. And when she goes, she realizes that she doesn't really know much about her husband. It was all very quick, and in this house are constant reminders of Maxim's deceased wife, Rebecca. So this book is so clever. It's a beautifully written book, like absolutely beautiful. So if you like that traditional classic kind of writing, yes, and you haven't tried this one, yes, read this one. But also the plot is so fun, especially the second half of the book. It is so fast paced, so crazy, like shock twist, and I just feel like this book was really clever and an exploration of identity, especially women's identity, and the techniques that were used in this book were just like so clever. I'm sure many of them went over my head, but the ones that I was able to pick up on, especially having a nameless main character, just was so clever. This book is so smart. And probably too smart for me, but I absolutely love this book. So I would highly recommend this. Prompt number 2, a book with a phrase in the title. For that, I'm going with Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I just read this book last month and absolutely loved it. Again, a book that I didn't know what I was going to think about it, and I absolutely loved it because I'm not typically a romance girly, as I keep saying over and over, but I feel like now I am because of this book. This is about our main character, Chloe Brown, who is chronically ill and a kind of a computer geek, and she has a near-death experience where she suddenly realizes that she wants to get a life, and she writes this list of stuff that she wants to do with her life, and she enlists the help of this, I guess he's kind of like the maintenance man in her building, and those two like hate each other, they're butt heads, their personalities just big clash, so enemies to lovers, and she enlists his help to work her way through this list. And it was the most fun time. It's adult, so there's some nice fun spicy scenes. It was like a warm hug with an incredibly written male character, an incredibly emotionally intelligent male character, and it was just so fun. I had such a good time, a big grin on my face the whole time I read this book. Next prompt is a book with a sentence in the title. For that, I'm going with As Long as the Lemon Tree Grows by Zulaf Katau. This is a young adult book set in Syria. It's a historical fiction, and there's a little bit of romance about this girl who works at a hospital, and she has this hallucination of this person who urges her every day to leave Syria, and she refuses, and then she meets this other actual boy called Keenan who wants to stay and risk his life for everything their country could be. I heard this book is absolutely sensational, and honestly in the mood for a good cry. I heard this book is quite sad as well. I'm really looking forward to reading about this book. I can't say I've read a book set in Syria, so I've heard only fantastic stuff about this one. So the next prompt was a book with a unusual word in the title. This I really struggled with. Originally I was going to say The Princess and the Scoundrel because I think scoundrel is such a weird non-serious word, but I found a better answer because I was going to use this for another prompt, a book with a made-up word in the title, until I discovered it's a real word, and that is Illuminae, the first book in the Illuminae Flowers trilogy by Amy Kaufman and another author we will not mention, because I thought this was like just kind of their version of like illuminate, but it turns out I did some research and illuminate is like Latin, and I didn't realize that it was Latin. I thought it was just like a play on illuminate and they just made it their own kind of word. But yeah, this is a Latin word. I just think it's a really cool sounding word, like illuminate, and the spelling just looks so weird, like it looks wrong. The A and the E just like throw you off. Anyway, yeah, that's my answer to this one. A very unusual Latin sounding word. This is set in space, set in the future. It's about this ship. There's this deadly disease spreading through the ship and this AI who kind of has a mind of its own. I remember giving this 5 stars. Absolutely loved it. It's very, very, very mixed media, which is probably why I loved it so much. Like most of the pages are like text conversations from like computer, a bit of a countdown going. There's yeah, I can't even remember. There's letters, and it's incredibly mixed media, so entertaining, so engaging, and I absolutely adored this book, and I should reread this trilogy because it's one that I absolutely love. Next up, a book with a name in the title. I'm going with The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I do have this somewhere. I can't find it, so I'm just going to pop it on screen. This is one of my current reads. It's about this girl from France in the 1700s. She makes this kind of deal with the gods that come after dark, and she doesn't want to get married in this village. She wants to live and see the world, but there's a catch. Everyone she meets will forget who she is, and she can live forever. This guy keeps coming to her every day on her birthday saying, do you give up? Do you give up? And she keeps saying no. And then about 300 years after she makes a deal in kind of modern day times, she meets this boy that remembers her name. The writing is beautiful so far. I haven't completely finished it, but it's definitely a book where the writing is the focus rather than a plot, so it's a slow read, but I'm really enjoying it so far. The next prompt, a book with a made-up word in the title. For that, I am going with The Hobbit by J.r. Tolkien. It's Tolkien or Tolkien? Please let me know. I keep saying it differently. I'm a very fake reader. This is the prequel to, obviously, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I don't need to tell you the plot of this one, but the Hobbit is a creature that is created by Tolkien. So yeah, made up word. Perfect. The next prompt is a book with a pun in the title. I didn't come up with this one myself. Google helped me, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, perfect answer. Because this is high on my want to buy list, and that is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foodie. It's a pun because Ace of Spades, the card, this is set in a world where there's casinos and big crime families that run these casinos. We have 2 main characters. The first one is a female called Annie, I think that's how you say it. She must leave her finishing school and her reputation behind because her mother goes missing. She teams up with this guy called Levi, who is a street lord and a con man, and they go on this dangerous mission through illicit cabarets, glamorous casinos, and into the clutches of a ruthless mafia donna. I'm guessing that's like a female don. So she unearths impossible secrets about her past, and Levi's enemies catch up to them, ensnaring them in a vicious execution game where the players always lose. To save Levi, Anna must surrender herself to the city, and she'll need to play. This sounds so fun and like such a fun time, so I really, really, really want to read this, and a cool punny title. The next prompt is a book with a title that describes it well. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. They both die at the end. That's not a spoiler. That is the plot. They both die at the end, and they do both die at the end, and still it's heartbreaking even though you know it's coming. This is set in this world where there's a thing called Deathcast, and it calls you, and any times in the next 24 hours you could die, or not you could, you will die. And it's about these 2 boys that spend their last kind of hours on Earth together. It's beautiful, it's devastating, and they both die at the end. The next one I really struggled with, and I still don't have a proper answer. That is a book with a title that doesn't describe it well. I mean, I have this here, and that is Glass Sword. This is the 3rd book in the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard. I remember at the time thinking, why is this called Glass Sword? And I can't think of why it's called Glass Sword, or I might just be missing a major plot point because it was so long ago I read it, but the other books I look at the titles, I'm like, that makes sense for what happens in the book. But this one I can't remember Glass Sword and what that has to do with anything. So this is my kind of half-assed answer. I like stared at my bookshelves for like an hour and I went through all the titles and I was like, does that make sense? Does that not make sense? Because I really wanted a good answer, but this was the best you're gonna get, unfortunately. The final prompt is booktube channel with an amazing name and tag your friends. So for channel names, I like How to Train Your Gavin is really cool. I like the book roast. I think that's cool. Ali from All I Do Is Read. Ali, I Do Is Read. I think that's clever. I like the book basket. I think that's a cool name. A book fiend named Mel. I think that's a cool name as well. For who I'm gonna tag, I'm gonna tag oh, who should I tag? I should have thought about this before I started. I think I will tag the book basket. I think I'll tag Books by Emily, and then one more. Who else will I tag? Books Review of Zoe. I'll tag her as well. Let me know in the comments below. Did you agree with my answers? Do you disagree with my answers? And answer one of the questions for me. A book that you think the title describes the book really well. Answer that question for me as well. As always, all my social media links are in the description below, as well as the people I tagged, the channel names I mentioned that I like, and obviously the original creator of this tag. Give this video a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my content. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you on what the hell I post next. Bye!